Hello, people. I'm glad to see you at the lesson. And the topic of the lesson is speaking about Russia, living in different parts of Russia. Today we are going to speak about different places in Russia. We are going to compare the special things about living in the city and in the country. We will compare life in the south and in the north. And of course, you will describe your type of living, your place where you live, and compare it to the whole Russia. Now let's start working. And to work today, you open your books, the part of the book called Spotlight on Russia. These pages have blue corners. You can easily find them. Этот раздел легко находится по голубым уголкам вверху. So you open page 3, Spotlight on Russia, and you are ready to read the text. Spotlight on Russia looks at different ways of life in Russia. Village life. A quarter of the population of Russia, about 40 million people, live in villages. Russia's size means village life has hardly changed in centuries and is still very traditional, although quite hard. People's livelihoods depend on crops and livestock. They must work in the fields and tend to their animals. The summer harvest has to last through the winter, and often the only way of people to make money is to sell their produce at the market in the nearest town or city. However, the isolation and simplicity that makes village life difficult is also what makes it wonderful. There are no factories or traffic, only fresh air, clean streams, and beautiful forests. City life. The majority of Russians live in the city. They usually live in multi-story blocks of flats that can have up to 400 flats in them. The flats vary from 40 square kilometers to 40 square meters to 200 square meters. Many families of 4 or 5 people live in a 2 or 3 roomed flat. Often 2 or 3 generations live in the same flat, and so it can get overcrowded. Life on the Black Sea. The best stretch of coastline in Russia is in the southeast of the coast of the Black Sea. This is where many Russians go for their summer holidays. It is a densely populated area, and the people who live there make their living from the tourists who come for their holidays between May and October. Every house has rooms to rent, and the streets and beaches are crowded with people selling all sorts of souvenirs and refreshments. There are also many different types of water sports available. Life in the north. In the far north of Russia, conditions are harsh and life is very difficult. This is where you will find large oil fields and mining operations. Big companies attract people to work and live there by giving them high salaries and free housing. Even so, many people leave there after a short time because they cannot cope with the freezing cold conditions and temperatures as low as 50 degrees below zero. Now, after we have read the text, we can answer the questions. Where do you live? Do you live in the south or in the north? Do you live in the city or in the country? And don't forget, you answer the question. Your task is to give a 10-rate 5 sentences to the question. You can start like that. I live in Donetsk. Donetsk is a big city, but I don't live in the city center. I live at the suburb, and here it is always quiet and we are close to nature. If we didn't live in block of flats, we could say that we live almost in the village. Does your lifestyle depend on the place you live in? If yes, how? Try to think if your life depends on our location. Give your answer orally. First, I think that lifestyle surely depends upon the place we live in. We live at the suburb. It means we don't suffer hustle and bustle, which is typical for the city center. The second thing, we live at the suburb and we are close to nature. We can go out for a walk in the fields and there are small forests too. So the answer can be something of the kind. Going further, your homework. You are to write something. You are to describe the place where you live. You are to describe what it is like to live here. And you are to add as much information as you only can. You are to write at least 20 sentences. Не забывайте, если у вас даже 2 вопроса, объем письменного высказывания должен быть не менее 15 предложений. So, this is your work. Goodbye and good luck.